Hi, welcome to the latest episode of Ragic Office Hour, and let's get started by answering your questions from the question list. Okay, first question. Are you planning to have meetings that are during business hours in the US? Okay, good point. And um, yeah, we've been organizing our webinar hours in mostly like European hours or like to the New Zealand and Australian hours, and we haven't been doing business hour US webinars for a while. So yeah, that could be a good idea to kind of shift the webinar hours around, and I'll talk to our webinar organization team and see what I can do. We've Okay, yeah. We'll see if we can schedule some of those in the future. Okay, next question. iPad friendly interface. I would like to see Ragic have a touchscreen friendly interface. We have evaluated the app for cell phones, but its limitations of appearance and fields are shown make it not usable. So we often open Ragic on the browser. Um, well, first of all, of course, we would like, if possible, to elaborate on why the mobile app is not that usable on the mobile interface. Sometimes we do understand that because it's not displayed exactly the same as the web interface, so that could be part of the problem. But it would be helpful to clear, like for which part that is not the mobile app is interface is not usable, so that we might plan some kind of solution to that in the near future. So we often open Ragic on browser and struggle to navigate and edit records on it. The problem editing, writing text, selecting from pull-down menu is hard when we don't have a mouse. Also, visible area. Also, the visible area and navigation is very limited in a touch device. Hmm. Yeah, because for the touch device, right now we're mostly focused on the mobile app and the mobile web app. So if you're not happy with the mobile app, the native mobile app, and the mobile web app basically has the same interface. So our main focus would be to focus on the mobile app and the web app, which has the same interface, to see how we can make the whole interface applicable for most mobile use. So yeah, we would be working on this in both directions. Like we would still like to make the exact same Ragic interface as you see on your desktop browser that will work better on mobile. But in a lot of cases that we're expecting mobile users to use the mobile app. So yeah, but we will definitely need a bit more detail on this, and perhaps you could provide it to our support team and to see what specifically in which detail, like why is it not very usable in your applications on either of those platforms. interface as the native mobile app. Also the issues that you into on the mobile browser. Using the desktop version. Yeah, I believe on either side of the solution, like using the mobile app or using this spreadsheet interface on the mobile browser, either side we can have some improvements to make the whole flow a lot more smooth. Okay, next question. Listing page column filter options. It would be great to have a feature parity between the column header filters and the left sidebar filters. Specifically, the column filters should offer the same options as the sidebar, depending on the field type, e.g. date ranges and multiple select. Okay, yeah, that's something that we could do since the features are already there. So it will mostly be like, I do think we already have some of the features in place that, some of the feature requests in place that we're working on to make the column header filters a bit, have a little bit more features. Okay. Yeah. We don't have a specific timeline for this yet, but we are working on those. It's in the release schedule. So although it's not like really high on the top of the priority list, but it's in the release schedule. Daily workflow. Link and load updates are executed on different days. Okay. Hello, Ragic support team. I have implemented a script in a daily workflow to perform link and load updates for 3 sheets. See this attached screenshots. However, the actual result shows that these sheets are not updated at the same time. Instead, each sheet is updated 1 day apart. Let me take a look at the the screenshots, but okay, these are the definitions. Here's the workflow. Yeah, that looks kind of normal. Each sheet is updated 1 day apart. I'm not really sure why this is behaving that way, but we have to go in the system and check the log to see why. So for now, I can't think of a reason that, except if you coded it this way, why would they be like updated 1 day apart? Whether this goes crossed by the way the script is written. Yeah. Maybe there's something down there, but I don't see any specific reason that these would be like 1 day apart. From what we see on the screenshot of the daily workflow, I don't see the reason that the execution would be 1 day apart for each of the sheets. Suggest to use the need help link at the top right to get assistance so that our support team can go in and take a look at the execution logs to determine the costs. Okay, yeah, those kind of issues generally requires looking at the logs, because from a first look, I don't see any reason that they should behave this way. Yeah, but still, generally, daily link and load, that in most cases doesn't make sense. You could just configure it to stay in sync. So usually it doesn't make sense unless there's a specific time-based formula you're using, and then you're updating the link and load with. So that could be the only reason that you might want to code your daily workflow this way. So I would guess that's the reason. But still, I don't see any reason that they are executed 1 day apart. The program is unable to tell between these 6 lines, and they can't determine that, oh, they should only do 2 of them each day. So it's unlikely that it's being executed this way on purpose from the daily workflow. Okay, guidance on editing dashboard report display. Okay, which dashboard you're talking about? Okay, right, this one. The dashboard report. I would like to customize the display's content of the dashboard report, specifically remove charts that are no longer needed, adjust the size of the charts where there is a large amount of data and cannot be fully displayed due to limited space. Could you please advise on how to perform these adjustments? Yeah, I think you could just mouse over one of those and click the X to remove it, because I do remember these are pretty customizable. So if you do a dashboard report here, yeah, just click on the X and it's going to be removed. What? Huh? Okay, maybe there is an issue here on why it can't be removed, but you could try this, and if you're seeing a problem like me, like I am, and then you could submit a need help request there. I'm not sure why. Worked before for me. Oops. You should be able to mouse over one of the small reports. See the X on the top right. Use it to hide one of the reports. If you have trouble using this feature, send a need help request to our support team. Okay, yeah, need help on that. I'll also check on the bug there. Is there a way to type into a signature field? Ah, okay. Yeah, on multiple forms, we make a lot of use of the signature field, as we think it looks better than just a typed name. We want to keep the signature field, but for some people with mobility issue, they can have trouble signing their name with their mouse. We have utilized the personal setting upload for internal users. However, we've had a lot of external queries where they have tried to type in the signature field. Would it be possible to add a feature into the signature field so you have the option to type your name as well as to sign your name? Yeah, we do see this feature like on like DocuSign. Yeah, and most of the time they just they just type in the name, so it's not exactly signing, but I think legally that still works. So yeah, that could be a reasonable feature for us to support, just to type in the name and using like a signature font. This is helpful in a lot of settings for external users to sign documents. I will let Dean know and see if we can get support to this. All right, next question. Is it possible to email on condition of another field? Okay. Apologies if this has been asked previously. Is it possible without JavaScript to fire an email dependent on another field? Okay. For example, we have this vehicle checklist that is completed monthly by the employee who drives the vehicle. This form contains a list of vehicle maintenance items. Okay, oil, water, interior condition, exterior condition, with the selection fields okay, not okay. If the employee selects not okay for any of these items, we flag field A as not okay. Ideally, we would like to trigger an email upon save that will only send if field A was equal to not okay. We wouldn't want to know every entry, as this will make hundreds of emails, and those that need to get looked would be missed. Is there a way to fire an email if field A is not okay, even based off a subtable filter, similar to those to those used on the convert action would be great. Okay. Off the top of my mind, the easiest way to do this is to just create a view, just to create a view here. So you could create a view here and save it to filter out if field A is not okay. And then on that, and then you can just use the notify me feature for those users to notify them when when there's an entry that has been updated and matches this selection criteria, so matches this filter criteria. So that would be a more easy way to do that. And you can also modify the template so that it's sending out appropriate notification email according to your criteria. So this should be a pretty good approach for that. Just that you need to create filters for this, and then you can set the notify me configuration for those users. The easiest way to do this on Ragic is to create a shared view with each of these conditions. After you create a shared view, like for field A equals not okay, you can, the users that needs to be notified of this can click on the config of the shared view and get and use notify me to get notifications when a record is created or updated, so that it meets the shared view criteria. Okay, and a quick screenshot to show you how to use notify me and also the custom notification email. Yeah, and just the search, the share view is right here under. When you after you search it, you should be able to save it as a filter outside of editing mode. So if you're on the listing page, you can save it as a view. Okay, and that's it for the questions for today. And thank you for joining in to today's episode of Ragic Office Hour. And if you have any other questions, please feel free to use the Office Hour question sheet to ask your questions. And I will be answering your questions in 2 weeks. Thank you and goodbye.